Hello, Alan Heaton, healer and medium spiritual speaker. This is the 14th of February 2022 and I'm speaking from my energy room at home in Dreieich in Germany, just south of Frankfurt. It's a grey day, it's a cloudy day, it's fairly mild and it's a little windy. Outside in the real world, there's a storm building up, and we can look at this as being a very exciting opportunity to change a great deal of things in the coming years. Or we can look at it with a sense of trepidation about all the things, the negative things that might happen. You can see this building up and building up now. It's been building up for a while and we're getting pretty close to the point where confidence in government is going to completely collapse, and there's going to be incredible pressure on the financial systems and on the economies, particularly in the Western world. Inflation has risen a lot all of a sudden, and inflation can just appear out of nowhere. It's happened in the past. It happened in the 1970s. We often had double-digit inflation and we got used to it after a while, and then of course it went gradually in the other direction, and over the last years people have got completely used to exceedingly low inflation, very low, even negative interest rates, and that can change very, very quickly. But what is really happening is the protests are increasing against all these various mandates. The energy is rising. The energy is pushing people onto the streets. It's supporting those lawyers, scientists and doctors who are trying to get the message out, who are issuing the lawsuits, and it's supporting them. And eventually they're going to get results. It's very difficult to get results because the powers that be, of course, have enormous power, enormous influence over the courts, over the police, over the politicians, the media, and everything else. But the energy changes that are happening around us in the universe are supporting this. So this is the perfect time for lawsuits to be laid. And we can see that some of the Western leaders are behaving more and more in a dictatorial fashion. And the language, the use of language is very dictatorial and arrogant, incredibly arrogant. And this means more and more people start to ask questions and start to take the red pill and begin to wake up and realize they've been lied to now every day for 2 years. And this is what is supposed to happen. The corruption of the powers that be and the various systems that exist through which they are able to control everything and everybody are to be exposed, and then we can bring them down. And there will be an opportunity to create something else. They, of course, will want to try and guide us into their own tunnel control grid that they are planning with complete and utter 24/7 control, etc., etc. But if we decide we're not going to have that, we're going to create our own world, our own way of living, our own economy, maybe even possibly our own money. And different things may arise in different places in different parts of the world. There's not going to be a one-fits-all answer to everything and everybody. That's what they want. What we must do is go in different directions and work more locally and connect with each other without having this great big centralized power base that others can use to control everybody. Staying in a positive mindset at the moment is not easy. If you see some of the things that are happening on the internet, some of the police attacking and hitting people in a very ill-disciplined way, and there's obviously going to be a need to sort out the police forces of the world, especially in certain countries. In Germany, it hasn't been too bad. They've generally behaved in a disciplined and professional way, with some exceptions. But when you look at Australia, Canada, France, you cannot say the same thing about them. So if you feel you're getting angry when you're watching something on the internet, then switch it off. We don't want to get into that state of negativity and anger. We want to project a more positive energy field to help support the whole. That's one of our jobs as spiritual leaders, as spiritual people, to support the raising of consciousness and energy, and not allow ourselves to get into this them and us, divide and rule, hate and fear kind of thing. That's something we have to completely avoid, and we have to support more positive, energetic things. At the end of the day, once enough people have woken up and realized what is happening, there's going to have to be a coming together of everybody, as many people as possible, to try and sort everything out. And that's one of the themes of the astrology this year, I believe, as I've learned from people who are really, really good astrologers. People coming together. That's going to be a theme of the year, to deal with all the chaos that is ahead of us and just around the corner, I think. It's going to become very chaotic. And we will need to come together and not allow those at the top of the pyramid to divide and rule us, as they have so often done in the past. So it's really a very exciting time in many ways. Yes, it could get a bit nasty, and it could get a little bit dangerous at times. But I don't think we can go through this kind of enormous change without some of that. It's almost impossible. If we can keep it to a minimum, we will have done a very, very good job. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon.